Hey, what's going on everybody, and welcome back to another Fallout 4 mod bundle. And today is the long-awaited LMG list. That's right, we are taking a look at some of the really cool LMG mods available for Fallout 4. Now, the problem with LMGs is it's kind of a slim category. There just aren't a ton of mods available, and the ones that are available are a bit repetitive, as in there's a few mods that cover the same weapon. So I included as many as I could. It's not a top 5 or a top 10, but rather we have 7 today. So if you think I overlooked one, feel free to drop them in the comments as always, as I'm sure anybody watching this video is just looking for more LMG recommendations. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. The first LMG that we're looking at today is the M60 by Davis237 and Wardaddy. Now, I'm going to assume that if you're here looking at this list, then you are familiar with the M60, a Vietnam-era light machine gun, very recognizable and a just beautiful weapon. And this mod does it some great service. There's a good handful of attachments, leveled list integration, and of course some custom animations. So let's go ahead and let you have a look and a listen at those custom firing sounds as well as animations, as they are very nice. Not to mention, this mod also includes third-person animations, which a lot of these actually do, so really good touch and always appreciated. Really is a great mod covering the M60 light machine gun, and really just a nice touch to have in Fallout 4. Definitely fits the era and the vibe, and the heavy weapons category is a bit lacking in Fallout 4, so it's nice to run into this on some gunners and maybe even a high-level raider here and there. Additionally, the M60 includes its own turret, which is just so cool. Having a mounted M60 to guard your settlements is really awesome, and I use it in a lot of mine. Super cool, and I wish more mods implemented this. On top of that, this mod is available for both PC as well as Xbox, so just about anybody can grab that, as well as most of these mods on this list, excluding about, I don't know, one? Either way, I'm rambling at this point, so M60, definitely worth a download. Check it out, links in the description. Moving on, we have the MG42 and MG34 mod by Rico, Navaro, and Wardaddy again. This mod actually includes both the MG42 as well as the MG34, except they're both the same weapon, and that's due to some trickery with the weapons modification menu, as there are barrels and attachments for both the MG42 as well as the MG34, so you can go back and forth on the fly if you so please. This weapon is attitude leveled, so you will find it around on gunners and high-level raiders. The MG42 mod also features some beautiful custom animations as well as custom sounds, which, again, super awesome, as well as third-person animations, so we'll go ahead and let you have a look at those. This is another weapon that just fits so perfectly into Fallout 4. It's a classic weapon which Fallout just loves to throw into their games, and like I said with the M60, having a few more heavy weapons in your game is just nice to run into. Definitely makes bosses feel a lot tougher, and picking one up, especially with the legendary effect, just makes you feel so much dopamine. Both the M60 and the MG42 are mods that I run in my load order at all times. These are my go-to LMGs. Much like the M60, the MG42 also includes a turret version of the weapon, which looks so cool. Whenever ghouls approach on your settlement and you hear this thing firing rapidly at them, you know that you don't have to worry about a thing because your turret's got it taken care of. So this is definitely another one that's worth a grab, also available on PC as well as Xbox. There's really no reason not to download this one if you're looking for some really cool LMG mods. Up next, we have a pretty old mod, and that's going to be the WH77 Modular LSW REDUX by Skibadaa. Now that was a mouthful, but this is quite the project. Skibadaa started by making some interesting NIF scope weapons and moved on to fully custom weapons, and recently even redid an entire one of his minigun mods. And I'm really hoping that this LMG receives some similar treatment, along with some nice graphical updates. Regardless, this is an excellent mod as it is already. This one actually uses vanilla animations, but I think that that's just fine. It fits the weapon perfectly. It's using the assault rifle, quote-unquote, animations from the vanilla game, and those just work here. What's really cool, and the thing that I appreciate the most from this weapon, is the inclusion of its own custom sounds for different ammo types. So if you're using the standard 5.56 receiver, it will sound like this. Whereas if you switch over to the 308, it's going to sound beefier and slower, like this. Or maybe you pull it back down to a 5mm, which is going to sound rapid and plinky, like this. Overall, a really great classic mod, and I think I want to do a full breakdown of this one. It's been a while since I've looked at one of Skibada's weapon mods, and there's always a lot to offer, including different skins and a lot of cool, interesting features. Despite this one being so old, I think it holds up pretty well to modern day standards. And any hype I can build around it to get a brand new rebirth like the miniguns mod, well, I'm gonna do it. Definitely one that's worth downloading, has level-less integration, as well as see-through scopes compatibility, so super cool and definitely worth your time. Moving on, we have what is definitely our most interesting machine gun, and that's going to be the Mark 41 Gyrojet heavy machine gun by the Rizzler, Wanamingo, Navaro, and Vicyorus. Now, I know in the title it says the heavy machine gun, and that's going to be true for another weapon on this list as well, but LMGs are just hard to find in the mods, okay? This is really a super cool and unique weapon. It's actually not added to the level list, as it is a completely unique standalone weapon. You actually go and find this inside of Fort Strong, as it is definitely unique in the way that it functions, and you wouldn't actually really see this around on gunners and raiders. Like it says in the title, it shoots its own custom Gyrojet ammunition, which is a self-propelled ammo type, and it's super interesting and allows for some really cool customization options. This weapon does feature custom animations and sounds, so we'll go ahead and let you check those out really quick. Another interesting feature is the targeting computer, which is available on not only vanilla weapons, but some modded weapons as well. But I just think it fits this weapon so well, given that it does use that Gyrojet ammunition. Plus, the model for the targeting computer is super interesting. The Gyrojet is another staple in my load order, as it's not something you run into very often, but it is a very cool unique to pick up if you're playing somebody who uses heavy weapons. Not to mention, it does require a lot of effort to go and craft all the ammunition after you run out of the stuff you find in Fort Strong, so definitely an interesting one and worth checking out if you haven't already. Up next, we have the Fallout London BREN Gun by Team Fallout London. This, of course, adds the classic British BREN Gun. This is a top-loaded LMG, so the magazine actually comes through the top of the receiver as opposed to the bottom, and has gravity do all the work instead of just springs. This offers a very unique profile. Also included is an interesting canted handle that you hold this thing with, as well as a monopod on the back, which doesn't have much use, but it's just nice to stay to the traditional look. And the iron sights are also off kilter a little bit. Rather than being in the center of the weapon, they're off to the side to adjust for that top-loaded magazine. All in all, the BREN Gun is a very funky weapon, but it is a great addition to your game if you like historical weapons. Believe it or not, this thing actually is added to the level list and will start spawning on gunners and high-level raiders around level 20, and of course features those beautiful custom animations, which we'll let you check out right now. Definitely a super cool mod and one that's worth checking out. Like I said, if you like those classical World War I, World War II era weapons, this is definitely fits right in there, and for some people, definitely fits their load order, so super cool. Moving on, we have the Heavy Machine Gun by Wasteland Melody. I know, we're doing a list on light machine guns. Like I said, hard to find. But this adds the 50 caliber machine gun into the game and is added to the leveled list, so you will find this on high level gunners. I feel that this is perfectly paired with power armor. Slapping this on your character along with some T51 just looks so amazing. The color combos are excellent. I definitely like the vibe that introduces. This is a fully automatic 50 caliber machine gun. However, it does not include a reload animation. It actually applies the never-ending legendary effect to all versions of this weapon, implying that the box mag is just so big that you'll never have to run out of ammo. I would love to see this thing get a custom animation, but I think it's been long enough that that's probably not going to happen. Another thing I really wish for this weapon mod would be a turret with this model on it, much like the M60 and the MG42 had earlier in the list, but again, I'm just asking for stuff that's not going to happen. Regardless, this is an amazing weapon. Love finding it out there in the world. Picking up a legendary variant of one of these is super awesome, especially if you can get incendiary or explosive on it. It just becomes an absolute killing machine. Really cool mod, another great one by Wasteland Melody. And finally, we have the M249 Saw, more specifically from the Combined Arms mod by NovaFinch and friends. So if you're not familiar, Combined Arms adds a ton of new weapons, one of which being the fully customizable and animated M249 Saw, which is just beautiful. This thing has an amazing first and third person animation, which we'll let you check out right now. Not to mention this thing has a ton of customization, so many parts, scopes, and different things just so you can fit this just to your liking. You can have it be belt fed or magazine fed if you so please. Really lets this fit just about any role. This thing is additive leveled so you can have fun finding it out in the world, and definitely just shows how far we have come with modding. This game has been out now for almost 6 years, and just seeing the progression from modders is amazing. This thing has some of the best animations I've ever seen, and I just can't stop looking at it. It really is one of my favorite firearms to be added to Fallout 4 via modding, something I've been waiting for a very long time, and when I saw that it was in the Combined Arms Pack, I was ecstatic. And I think that's about it. These are some of the best LMGs that I could find out on the Nexus. However, I'm sure there's more hiding in the cracks that you guys might know about that maybe I don't. So if you have any of those, feel free to drop them in the comments. Like I said, I'm sure people are just looking for more recommendations, and it's much appreciated by just about everybody in the community to have even more recommendations from you guys. So feel free to drop those down below. And if you want to try any of these mods yourself, the links will be in the description as always for both PC and Xbox when available. The only mod not available on Xbox is the Heavy Machine Gun by Wasteland Melody. Although, I just couldn't find the link. Sometimes Bethesda.net can be funky, maybe it's actually out there, and if that's the case, I will happily update the description. So, don't forget to go out there and support your mod authors. They work tirelessly to make such awesome mods for free, so if you could just endorse, donate if you can, to any of your favorite mod authors for all of their hard work, it means the world to them and encourages them to make even more amazing mods. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a rating, subscribe if you haven't already for more videos just like this, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace. And hey, shout out to all of our patrons for their continued support. As always, your donations are greatly appreciated and help to fund videos just like this one. So again, thank you.